Okay, everybody, welcome to week 6 of the online health challenge. This is our last week. So sad. But I've been thinking about taking requests from our Take Shape for Life clients about, just different topics that you guys need help with. Maybe there's other topics like I have taught, I did the same health challenge with the city of Jefferson, and I did it a second year, and I talked about like cooking strategies. I talked about dining out. Uh, there's just a bunch of different things that people can struggle with. So if anyone has any requests, I could do some more of these and just do some special requests. But so anyway, tonight we're going to talk about how to stay on track over the weekends. And then that way, hopefully you'll be set, especially when it comes to summer, because summer can be tough. So, all right, let me pull up my slideshow here. I have a million of them open right now because I am currently planning a presentation with the Army this weekend. So there's I bet you I have like 10 PowerPoints open right now. Let me see here. Okay. Did you love that picture? Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. Someone give me a thumbs up. Can you see it? Caroline. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get this started. All right. So when it comes to staying on track over the weekends, we all do during the week, right? Monday through Friday, we're in our routine. We're waking up each day. We're pretty consistent with our work schedule, our kids' schedule. We're just doing the do Monday through Friday. So everybody usually does great, with that structured routine. And even with weeknights, you usually have the same, you sit down with your family and have dinner, or you're running around, like right now it's baseball season, so a lot of people are running around with their kiddos and grabbing things. So you just have like this consistency about it. But then the weekends come along, and especially during the summer, we have so many different plans, so many different things happening that it's hard to stay with that consistency. But and people really derail themselves on the weekends, and it can do a lot of damage to your weight loss journey if you're trying to lose weight, or even if you're just trying to stay healthy. Maybe you have a workout plan, and just a lot of people will just derail themselves, stuff their face, and just go balls to the wall. And I really like this quote, and I often need to reread it myself too. But if you are on your weight loss journey and you do have goals ahead of you that you're trying to crush, then if you aren't going to go all the way, why even go at all? And and I talk with some of my own clients, well, the weekend, this is coming up, and I have this to go to, almost, kind of sounding like excuses. But I like to think of your health journey as a season. It's so small. It's so temporary. It's such a temporary period in your life that if you just crank it and just focus so hard, then you'll get to the finish line, and then you can enjoy the rest of those times. Okay. And, another thing I like to say too is that, wouldn't you rather be at that wedding or be drinking beer at that baseball game or whatever it is, looking hot, feeling awesome, and not feeling down like you are now? Just focus on the season for yourself. All of you are here. You're focusing on your journey. Just do it. Just do it and get it done. And then, months from now, a year from now, you're going to be in a completely different place. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to look healthy. And, and then you're going to enjoy life a lot better. So don't stop. And don't stop just because of the weekends. The weekends, it's 48 hours, and you can get through it. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. Okay. So, like I said, you're doing your routine throughout the week. Everything's going good. And then the weekend activities come. And there's just no structure to the weekend. For most people, I was talking to a couple people today. One had a wedding to go to. Another one was taking her kids to the zoo. There's just so much going on throughout the summer. And, I'm taking my kids to the pool tomorrow. And, there's just always different things happening. So there's just no structure. There's a lot of eating out, because when you are out and about, you're more likely to go out to eat, grab something to eat. There's a lot of barbecues going on, a lot of weddings, that sort of thing. A lot of food. There's just a lot of food activities that take place throughout the summer. And then water, that's a big one. And I'll be honest, I struggle with my water over the weekends. I really have to make a point to get it in, because you're out and about, you're just out and about. You're not paying attention. You can easily go somewhere without a water bottle and not get your water in like you normally do. And then a lot of times we have so many activities that we're not exercising like we normally do either. Okay. And then this is what happens. I'll tell you, especially on the 5-in-1 program with Take Shape for Life, I will admit, if let's say it's Friday night, and I would cheat, and I hate saying that word, but I would just make a bad choice. Okay. Like, let's say we went out to Mexican and I decided to have chips and salsa, which is a no-no. Then my mindset used to be awful. Just awful. If I eat something bad, I'm like, oh hell, I'm already screwed up. Might as well just go all the way, go all the way or go home, right? So that would be me. That used to be me on a weekend when I would just end up falling off program. I'd fall off the wagon. I'm like, I'll just start over on Monday. Give me those chips and let's just go for it. I mean, it was just awful, just awful. And then what happens is when Monday comes, that's how you feel. Okay. You feel tight, bloated. You might have gained weight. And then you just have a guilty Monday. And then you put yourself through the emotions like, why did I even eat those chips and salsa? Why did I even do that to myself? What was the point of doing that? And this is just what happens to a lot of people. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we keep this from happening constantly? Because that's just the same as a yo-yo diet. It really is. You just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So here are some tips. So hopefully you have a pen and paper. Okay. I'm also going to send you this awesome file that can help you plan for events, plan ahead of time. But basically, if you are on program or you are on your health journey, you have to plan. Okay. It's just, that has to be your commitment right now. It just has to be. It has to be part of your life. If you don't plan, then you plan to fail. Okay. So when weekends come up, tonight's Thursday night. Okay. So a lot of you probably already know what you're doing this weekend. Even if you have to make a commitment on Thursday night to kind of look at the weekend ahead, just sit down for 15 minutes and plan out your weekend. So you've got a good plan ahead, and think about each day. What activities are you going to be doing? What kind of food's going to be involved? Okay. And hold on, I'm looking at the chat. Okay. Anyway, let me go back. And what's coming up? Do you have a wedding coming up? Do you have are you going out to a restaurant with family and so forth? Just think about what's coming up. If you know ahead of time, then it's going to be easy for you. Okay. Plan activities with your family. Keep yourself busy. Okay. Keep yourself going out, being busy, having fun. Okay. Because when you're busy and you're happy, that's going to keep your mind off of food. All right. And what everybody else is doing. So plan fun activities with your family. Don't just sit in your house like a hermit and be thinking about the cookies in the cabinet. Don't do that. Go out and get busy. Okay. And another thing too, and Caroline's really good. She's on here tonight. She rocked her last weekend. She was in Kansas City and they were going to the zoo and doing all kinds of stuff with her son. And then she came back and dropped 3 pounds. So she just rocked it. And the reason is because she planned with her health coach. She talked with me and Kristen and planned with us on what she was going to do. Okay. So all it took was a few minutes of planning out, like, okay, this is what I'm going to bring. This is what I'm going to eat. This is what I'm going to do. And she was doing fun activities with her son. She's just keeping herself busy and having a lot of fun. So if you do that, also by doing that and you conquer weekends like that, the more you do that, more and more and more, it goes back to what I said in the beginning of this challenge, is that just becomes you. It just becomes your lifestyle, because you can conquer a weekend like that. And you're like, heck, I did that. I could do anything, you know? And I'm sure Caroline feels a lot better now that she made it through a weekend like that. And I'm sure it was hard. I'm sure there was hard moments, especially when you go to the zoo and there's like Dippin' Dots and all that kind of stuff everywhere. It can be hard, but like walking away from it, you almost feel empowered. Like, wow, I just did that. And then you want to do it again and again and again. So plan activities. That's the biggest thing. Water, water, water. Like I said, have water on you, okay? If you're out and about, when you leave the house, start making it a habit just to grab a water bottle. If you have a water bottle with you, you're going to drink it, okay? Or pack like a little cooler of 6 water bottles and just bring it with you, especially with it being summer. It's hot outside, and you need that hydration. And if you have that cup on you or that water bottle in your hand, you're more, you're likely just to be drinking it. There's been a lot of times I've gone out on the weekend with my kids and I forgot my water bottle. And then, it's 3:00 in the afternoon before I get my first water bottle in. So, and that's bad. So just make it a habit to buy a 24-pack of water bottles, have it in your house, and just grab those on the weekend when you're out and about. When you're out shopping, okay, well, here in Jeff City, we have the worst mall you could ever imagine, so we don't really have a food court, but when you're out shopping and stuff, and you're out eating with family, just avoid places like that. Like, avoid the food court, avoid, those places that have, like, ice cream and all that good stuff. Just keep yourself out of the situation. There's been times like I've skipped out on fairs, like the state fair, just stuff like that, because I'm like, man, those funnel cakes, they're going to try to suck me in, and I'm just going to keep myself out of the situation. That way it's not hard for me. And when you're out shopping too, just set a healthy plan. Think about, okay, where are we going shopping? What are we doing this weekend? What restaurants are around? And then set your restaurant plans. You can get, most of you have probably eaten out on program and on your health journey already anyway, but eating out can actually be really easy. I mean, there's rarely a restaurant that doesn't have some sort of grilled meat, a side vegetable, and a side salad. Okay. Most places have that, or, and every place has salad, but don't feel like you have to keep eating these chicken salads all the time. Don't, eat a nice grilled steak, or, a piece of grilled salmon and some vegetables, a side salad. And just kind of think to yourself, okay, where am I going to be eating? A lot of restaurants have their menus online, so you can just go ahead and pop on there and say, okay, I'm going to get this meal. And then that way, when you walk into that restaurant, you already know what you're going to order. You're not sitting there looking at the menu being tempted, like, oh, give me these mozzarella sticks and stuff like that. Just, you're going in there with a plan. We also have a dining out guide with Take Shape for Life, so I will make sure to email that out tonight as well, with the recording. And I will also email you a list of fast food options that I made. Because a lot of times we are out and about, and our family or whoever just wants to stop someplace quick and grab a quick bite to eat. And there are places that you can grab a nice salad. Actually, McDonald's has a wonderful salad called the Southwest Grilled Chicken Salad. It is amazing, and it's only $5. It's just delicious. It's one of my favorite lean ingredients. And so even if you stop by there real quick, you're on a road trip, just you can have that list of different fast food options to grab a nice salad while you're out and about. Okay, so I'll send that to you too, as well as our dining out guide, and you can use those tools. And then journaling. That's another way to stick to your plan, especially on the weekends. That way you don't get off track. If you have your little 5-in-1 journal, keep that on you. Throw it in your bag. Throw it in your bag with you. Have it with you when you're out and about. That way you can keep check marking it. Use your Fitbit. If you like to journal on your Fitbit, just keep that consistency of doing that. Okay. Don't just slack on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Another one of my favorite tips is to cook your favorite foods. Okay. So let's say you do have a nice weekend home, and, I know we go out to eat. If we do go out to eat, it's mostly on the weekend, but just cook your favorite foods and dishes that you love, your lean and green meals that you love. Like Derek and I love the stuffed jalapeno poppers. And I love the stuffed mushrooms recipe that we have. I love pizza, and that's what I'm making tomorrow night. I'm making our cauliflower crust, and I'm having pizza tomorrow night. And I just love pizza. So then I have, Friday night pizza, and I just know I'm having that. And to me, it makes me feel like I'm eating out. So just cook your favorite foods, find your favorite recipes, and just have fun with it over the weekend. If you're going to barbecues, or if you're going to not wedding, but if you're going to a barbecue, we have awesome appetizers that you can bring with you. The stuffed jalapeno poppers are like just the bomb. Those, we have a chicken jalapeno dip that is to die for, that you can bring with peppers. You can cut up some bell peppers, bring that. Everybody loves that. We have barbecue meatballs that you can bring, all kinds of stuff. So like when it comes to barbecues, stuff like that, bring your favorite food to it and enjoy it. Enjoy the night out with all your friends and family, and you can still be on program. Another idea I gave someone today, because they had some different barbecues this weekend, and they weren't really sure what was going to be there. Obviously, there's going to be meat, but they weren't sure about vegetables and stuff. And so I said, well, what you can do, if you don't have, and they didn't have time to bring like a recipe because it was out of town and everything. So I said, grab a bowl, run by the grocery store before you go, and they have those awesome salad kits out there. Like Dole brand has a lot of them. And grab that salad kit. It's got everything in it. It's got the dressing. It's got, the cranberries and the cheese and whatnot in it. And they're very healthy. And that can just, bring your bowl, bring that bag of salad, throw it in there, whip it up, and there you go. You've got yourself a delicious salad. Grab some meat from the barbecue, and you're good. You've got your lean and green. Okay. So that's an idea. If you're going someplace, you don't know really what they're serving. Obviously, there's always meat, but you don't really have time to cook or bring anything with you that's big and it's out of town. Go by the grocery store and grab one of those salad kits. They're great. I love them. And then my next idea is an exercise plan. Okay. Now, when I say exercise plan, I'm not saying like, you definitely should exercise, continue your exercise program over the weekend. I used to rest on Sundays, and I switched that. I'm like, okay, if I'm tempted to eat anything or eat a little bit more, because sometimes we would go out to lunch, I might have a little bit of greens or, some meat at lunch with my family. So if I might eat a little bit more on the weekend. If I did that, then I'm like, oh, well, heck, I should be exercising more on the weekend and taking my rest day during the week. So I switched that for myself. So I exercise on, Saturday and Sunday. But just plan activities with your family that are keeping you active. Okay. So if you have children, go out on a walk with them, go to the park with them, go swim with them at the pool. Just keep yourself active and engaged, and you're going to be burning calories. So if you have a little bit of this and that, a little bit of extra, because if you go to an event and you have a little bit of extra meat or whatever, you're balancing that out with fun activities with your family. Okay. So exercise, just plan out what you're going to do. And then, weekend events, planning ahead. So, this goes back to, those big things like weddings and get-togethers and stuff like that. So if you're going to go to a wedding on Saturday, then what I would do is wake up early that morning, go for a nice walk or do some sort of exercise, okay? Because you're going to be having a different event than normal, okay? Just get a little bit of exercise in to help balance that out, all right? Just plan ahead on what you're going to do. Weddings, stuff like that, it goes back to, it's the same thing like, as a barbecue. Every event has some sort of meat, okay? And they have meat and protein. So just fill up on your protein and fill up on greens, and you'll be good. Obviously, avoid the cake, avoid those type of things, but load up on meat and the vegetables. And you know what? If you have a moment and, and you decide that you want that piece of cake, that wedding cake or whatever, have 2 to 3 bites of it. Okay? 2 to 3 bites. After 3 bites, your taste buds are no longer engaged. Okay? So for your taste buds to communicate with your brain, after 3 bites, it's done for. So you don't even need it anymore. So if you make that decision that, hey, I think I'm going to have a bite of this cake, limit it to 2 to 3 bites. Okay. Try to avoid it if you can, but if you have a moment, then that's okay, because this is our journey. It's all about learning, and it's about making decisions, and it takes time. Nobody's perfect. Trust me, I am far from perfect. So it's just a work in progress, and it just takes time. But when it comes to weekends and weekend events, I will send you a document as well that has everything listed out, like what the event is, where it is, what kind of food's going to be there. It helps walk you through the event. Okay. And if you just sit down like Thursday, Friday, and fill that sheet out about that upcoming event, it just makes you aware of what's coming up and what your plan is and how to follow it. And it keeps, when you sit there and write it out on paper like that, it's just like signals to your brain like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Because you took the time to plan it out and write it down on paper and put it on your fridge, put it in your purse, just bring that with you as your little guide. Okay. So I will email that to you as well with the recording, and you can have that and print off as many as you want. If you need to print off one for each day of the weekend for Saturday and Sunday, then do that. Make that your routine every Thursday night or Friday morning, and just say, I'm going to plan each weekend out. That way I've got my plan. I know what yummy foods I'm going to have at all these events. I'm going to rock and roll. Okay. So look out for that. Also, avoid lots of alcohol. Okay. One alcoholic drink can slow down your fat burning and your weight loss by 73%. Isn't that crazy? It's nuts, and it's true. So when it comes to alcohol, especially in the summer, you want to avoid beer and wine. Beer is loaded in carbs. They're just loaded in carbs and sugar. Also margaritas, that's another big one. Everybody enjoys those margaritas throughout the summer. So just avoid those things, especially if you're on the 5 and 1 and you're in fat burning. You can kick yourself out of fat burning by having those drinks. Now, you can choose healthier options though. Okay. So the one thing, and I've talked to some of our nutritionists about this, that if you choose something like a distilled liquor, like vodka, rum, anything like that, and mix it with a 0-calorie mix, then you could be okay. All right. And limit yourself to 1 or 2. I'm not saying go out and drink 6 of them all weekend, but if you're out at an event or a barbecue, or, you want to make yourself one drink to sip on while you're there, that's the better choice. So for instance, some options that I've done before is tequila and water. Okay. And then you probably see me post on our Facebook page these little margarita packets. It's kind of like a Crystal Light packet. And then I just dump that into the ice and the tequila and water. And then I put salt on the rim, and it's like I'm having my own margarita. And all it is tequila and water and a little Crystal Light. So that's an idea, something like that. A lot of my clients will do, vodka tonics, or they may do vodka and Sprite Zero and then mix Crystal Light flavor, or you could use those little Mio squirts. Some people have done like vodka and Crystal Light lemonade, stuff like that. But just limit yourself to 1 or 2, because we all know that if you drink a lot of alcohol, well, what that does is, that signals, that you start getting the munchies and you start getting hungry, and you're like, okay. So if I do allow myself to have a drink, I definitely make sure I tell myself I'm not allowed to eat anything. I'm staying on program with my meal replacements and my lean and green. I'm not allowed to go off track with, bad snacky foods and such. So just choose healthier options. If you do choose to have a cocktail or have a drink, just choose those healthier options. You can still enjoy those times and trick yourself too. I've done this before where I may put my little cocktail or, some Crystal Light and water or a Diet Coke. I've done that before. I put a Diet Coke and squeeze, put a lime in it. And then I put it in like a fancy mug or a wine glass. And it makes me feel, and you carry that around, and it makes you feel like you're having a cocktail, but you're not. You're just tricking yourself, and you're just in the crowd with everybody else with your wine glass and sipping on that. And everyone else thinks you're having a cocktail with them. And so there's ways you can trick yourself too, especially with barbecues and events. Don't be like sitting in the corner, isolating yourself, chomping on your broccoli while everybody else is in the group and enjoying themselves, and be in the crowd. Remember, barbecues and times like that are times to grow relationships and spend time with your family and friends. So let that be your main focus. And just, enjoy that. Enjoy those times, and don't worry about, the food and the drinks and so forth. Remember, this is your season. You're getting in shape. It's just temporary, but it's going to last forever. Okay. So if anyone has any questions about those, then let me know. And the obvious, use your health coach. Okay. So you have a health coach that I'm sure has been through many of these events and situations themselves. Reach out to them and say, hey, I got this coming up this weekend and I need some help. I need some tips. What do you think I should do? I talked to 4 or 5 different people today about their weekend coming up, about what they're going to do and what their plan was. So use your health coach. Okay. Oh, these are just some tips. Real quick, I will open it up before I continue on. Does anyone have any questions about anything, or any odd weekend situations you've been in or not sure of, and you're like, oh, what tips do you have on this? Any? Before I continue on? No? Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Let's continue on then. Okay. Let me get back to my slide. Okay. All right. So the point of this, and conquering these weekends, is just to stop that vicious cycle of going back and forth. Because what people do is they'll lose weight during the week, but then they gain it all back over the weekend. And then that's what a plateau is. Okay. That's that yo-yo dieting. I'll talk to some folks, they're like, oh, I'm just out losing weight. And I'm like, well, what are you doing on the weekend? And they're like, well, and then there you go. So the weekends can really cause, really slow down a person. So the more and more you can get through them, and the more, and it just takes practice. You do one weekend at a time. You can kind of think of it as a little project. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do this weekend, and get through it. And you will feel so empowered. It feels so good that you'll keep doing it, and it will just become natural. Okay. Also, it's not good on your body, really. I mean, you can cause your body some damage, especially those on the Take Shape for Life program that are on the 5-in-1. Your body's in that mild ketosis. And if you go back and forth in and out of fat burning, it can actually cause damage to your liver. Okay. So it's not good. And your body just can't handle that, because you get it into ketosis, you get into that fat burning, and it's on a roll, it's doing good. And then you put these high glycemic foods in your mouth, and like it goes way out of whack. Fat burning goes on a halt, and you slow it all down. Your body's like, whoa, what just happened to you? What is this fuel? What did you just put in me? And it can cause the body some damage, and it's not good. Even Dr. Anderson had said once that if you do go in and out of fat burning so many times, like, you cheat so many different times, eventually your body will just give up. And it has no hope anymore. It's just like, you know what? I don't even know what you're trying to do. We're losing weight 1 second, and then you're feeding me fatty foods the next second. And your body just gives up. It's like, I'm done. I don't know what's going on here. So you do not want to do that. And I can tell you, I've had a few clients, not for a long time, but a couple years ago, I had a few clients that are kind of going back and forth, and they're like, man, why am I not losing my weight like I did the first time? And I said, well, it's because you cheated so many different times, went back and forth, and your body just is kind of exhausted from it. So remember that, like, if you're in that tough moment, be like, especially if you're in fat burning, just stick with it. Just keep going, keep doing it as long as you can. And don't be hard on yourself either about any of this, because like I said, we are all human and we all have moments. And if you choose, and don't even call it cheating, because it's not cheating. If you choose to enjoy something for a moment or one night or whatever, then that's your choice, and that's okay. Just get back on the wagon the next day, which that's a huge step in itself. A lot of people can't do that. Once they're off the wagon, they're done. So make sure that you do that. And as far as fat burning goes, I kind of like to think of it. I know whenever I was full force program for the first time, and I was in fat burning, and I had a donut looking at me, or I had something, I was in a moment that was tempting. I would just challenge myself and say, okay, it took my body 4 days to get into fat burning. Okay. And then, so that's 4 days of meal replacements, which that was like $50. And that's 4 days of time. I mean, that's a big investment that I spent on getting my body into fat burning. And if I ate that donut that was only going to last maybe 60 seconds, is it worth 4 days of time? Is it worth $50 of my meals? No. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So that's how I used to talk myself off the ledge back in the day when, I was tempted with, I had a lot of situations that tempted me. So that's one way to do it. Because if you eat something bad, you throw your body out of fat burning. So anyway, so it's not good on your body. So that's something else to think about and keep you motivated over the weekends. Okay. This starting over on Monday, Jazz, it's a thing of the past. It's not cool. Just nobody wants to keep doing that. Start new every day. Take one day at a time. Okay. Wake up each morning with your plan for the day. The program's simple. Your meal plan should be simple and easy. Just wake up, start a new day every single day. Okay. And as the weekend comes up, don't give yourself excuses like, this is coming up. I think I'm going to cheat and eat all this stuff. No, just power through it. Power through it, because the point of your health journey is to change your lifestyle. And you're never going to change your lifestyle if you keep being sucked into these crazy weekends, okay? And this is your season. You're going to get in great shape. And maintenance the more and more you stick to it and just get through it, maintenance will soon be here. And when you're in maintenance, then you'll be able to enjoy times like that. And I will tell you, I'm on my third transformation now after having Daniel. I decided recently I wanted to knock off another 10 pounds, so I'm doing that. So I'm currently back on the 5 and 1 myself. But I will tell you, in the past, after I had lost 50 pounds and got to my healthy weight again after having the 2 boys before, and I was actually in great shape. And I could enjoy sometimes. I could enjoy some barbecues or a baseball game, or I could go to a wedding and have a piece of cake. And it was just because those times were so, they weren't every weekend. They're every now and then. And your body, you will be getting it so healthy right now that, your metabolism will just become an ongoing engine for the rest of your life, because you're getting your body so healthy. And when those times come, when you have that piece of wedding cake or you go out with your friends, your body's going to burn it right off, because it is like top-notch healthy, okay? And those times will be okay, and you will have those times every now and then, and you will be able to enjoy those times. But you're going to be a whole different person by the end of your health journey, and a whole different mindset. So when those times come, you're like, I can have a few bites of that cake, no big deal, and get right back on track. It's like nothing, okay? So remember, this is your season. You're getting yourself to a healthy place. And the more you stick to it, even through the weekends, you're going to get there. You're going to get to that maintenance. And you'll look back, and this will be such a short period in your life that you'll be living life top notch, looking great, feeling fantastic, and it will all be worth it. Trust me. So, and I like this quote too. Never, ever give up. Okay. Even on the weekends. So anyway, well, those are my tips for tonight with staying on track over the weekends and powering through them. And hopefully those were helpful. I will get the recording up and sent out tomorrow, as well as those 3 different tools I said I was going to send you. The dining out guide, the list of fast food options to grab a quick lean and green, and then as well as that planning guide. That way you can print it off for your weekends, plan ahead. And then obviously don't forget to hook up with your health coach every weekend, every Thursday. Call your health coach, message him and say, hey, I got this coming up. Help me plan it out. And that's what we're here for. Okay. So hopefully everyone had a fun time and a great night, and go enjoy the rest of your night and have a wonderful weekend. Okay. Bye.